yeah? But that scares a lot of you. But this should prove to you that you can just do this work with any triangle, right? Okay, so again, set it up till you are at that point. Do not go to your calculator. Go. Now, why would I make you do this? Why am I making you stop at this yellow highlighted stuff?
It's easier to write out the question before you actually punch.
That's part of it.
So you don't make a mistake when you punch it.
Now you're getting warmer.
So you set up the question, it puts the numbers together that are actually...
Now you're getting further away.
Okay,
Hannah, your turn. The answer matters not. Because a great many of you will not have checked your calculator to be in degree mode. A great many of you do not actually understand what is going on. And if your calculator spits out an answer that makes no sense, what will you write down? The answer that makes no sense. Whether it makes sense or not, you will write it down because your calculator said so. Now, have we touched our calculator yet? No. Have we done trig?
Yes.
Yes. If you can get to those two yellow spots, does that prove to me that you know how to do trig, regardless of your calculator skills? Yes. Does everyone understand?
Yes.
All right. Let's go. Now, go to your calculator. Tell me those two answers.
Top one's 24.3, unless you're rounding to what?
It's 24.2.
2. Oh.
All right.
Is that 9,300?
Is everybody good?
Yes.
Every single person is in degree mode, and every single person can do one-step trig with their calculator now. Yes?
Yeah.
All right. Turn the page over.
A road rises 1 meter, so it's the hypotenuse. For every 19 meters measured along the road...
Read the whole question.
1 meter. For every 19 meters measured along the road.
How many triangles does this need?
1. 2.
Needs 2, doesn't it? The first triangle is right here, which I'm going to draw in blue. Where do the numbers from the blue go?
Well, one goes on the hypotenuse.
How can one be the hypotenuse when the other number is 19?
So 19.
19 is the hypotenuse. Why, Ethan?
Road rises.
It's the road. Cars drive up a road. They do not drive through the middle of a mountain to some elevator and get taken to the top. Unless, of course, you're at SeaWorld and you're riding the Atlantis ride, where you do ride into a tower and take an elevator to the top and then go down. It's my favorite ride. You get in a roller coaster thing. You do a little bit of roller coaster stuff. Then you go into a tower, and then it closes. And then you go up an elevator, and then you come out. And then you do a whole bunch more roller coaster stuff. And then you end in a pond.
That's cool.
It's wicked. It's my favorite ride.
Where is it?
SeaWorld. What? That's at Six Flags, is it not? Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain is 6.
Oh. All right. Okay. Because the Batcave is real. I forgot. My fault. Okay. So there's one triangle, yes? But do I not have a second triangle?
Yeah.
How far does a car travel horizontally when it travels 300 meters on the road?
So it would
So
be
now, where's this number?
on the ground.
Read the question again.
Horizontally, when it travels 300 meters along the road. So
Where does the car go?
the bottom one.
Same place, 300. Now, I want the horizontal one. Now, there are two ways to solve this. One way you learned in grade 8 or 9, where you compare 19 to 300, 1 to that scale factor, and that to that. Correct? Now, in order to compare this to this, I need one of those numbers, don't I? Which one of those can I find? The blue or the green?
Blue.
The blue, because you can do Pythagoras, yes? Could I use trig to solve this?
No. Well, yeah.
Can I find
the
theta
angle, yes.
using sine, yes?
Yeah.
Once I know theta, isn't this theta going to be the same? Yes. And then once I have theta there, could I not use cosine? Do I care which one you use? No, I couldn't care less. Choose one, do it, no calculators. Set it up like we just did. Choose the one you are comfortable with. Joseph just said when I started talking about scale factors, he was like, oh, I got it, I know that one. So I'm going to assume he's going to go scale factors. Some of the rest of you might do trig. Go. Talk to your neighbor if you need to. I will, of course, be doing both.
So we're trying to find the equation to get the angle?
No.
Oh.
You are trying to find this distance.
Okay.
This is one way to do it. You can also do it with trig. Now, a great many of you are very uncomfortable with this. A great many of you. You want to go to your calculator every second of every day in math class because you have been raised with your calculator. That's not your fault at all. But you should be recognizing that old way of thinking that you have had your whole life, why would a kid need to memorize times tables or how to do anything? They will always have a calculator available to them. You should see right now how that has done you a disservice, hasn't it? Because you don't know what is actually happening in math. Your calculator is essentially performing magic because you don't know what is happening. How does that affect you? If you don't know how to do something, how can you make your calculator do it? Right? And that's not your fault. That is the fault of the math education system. Go to the bathroom, go get a drink, whatever it is you need. Oh, I apologize then. What? Sine, shift sine, 1 over 19. Oh, that's sine. Sorry. I just didn't take my pen far enough off the paper. Sine. Sorry about that.
And then add the negative 1.
And then the minus 1 is shift sine. Does everybody understand? Now, if I let you use your calculator, whichever method you chose, you should be able to tell me the answer. What is it? Now you can go to your calculator. Because you have to divide by 19 to solve this. You multiply the pair, you divide by the leftover, the spare.
So 360.
300 times the square root of 360 divided by 19. And what is your answer? 299.6. Thank you. Now, does that make sense? Of course it makes sense. Because this shift sine of 1/19 is only 3.01 degrees. So I have barely gone up, haven't I? So these two distances have to be almost the same. Why did I want you to do it this way without actually doing shift sine here? Because when you do shift sine here, you get what? Shift sine 1 divided by 19. 3.0169631. All of you will do what with that number? You will round it to 3. Is it 3? No. Which is why I stress showing me the work. When you round in the middle of a question, you mess up the answer. Does it matter in math class? In math class. In math class. If you're off by 0.1, does it matter in math class?
No.
No, dude. How do you not know this about me yet? How often do I go 8 when you guys are like, well, the answer is 299.3, but I have 299.4. How often does, In reality, does it matter? Yes. Because if you grind someone's brakes wrong, they die. Right? Exactitude matters in real life. Here, work matters. Everybody cool? All right. Let's go to the next question. Oh, I have to close this off because my quality machine doesn't work if I open my calculator and then try to go back to my notes. Classic. Yeah. All right. Determine the area of this rectangle. What is every rectangle's area? Length times width, right? Where's the width?
Blank.
Right there. There's W, yeah? Where's the length? It's either there or there. They're the same, aren't they? L. Do trig. Don't touch your calculator till the end. Theta is what?
21.
Okay, carry on. See if you can figure this out. Ooh. I'm going to put the screen back on now at the point where all of my trig is done. Is everybody nearing that point? Is the majority of the class nearing that point? Okay. Is everybody good to there? That's one step trig, isn't it? Right? I had the hypotenuse. Whenever I have the hypotenuse, it's multiply, yeah? Everybody good? Okay. Now, L area is length times width, isn't it? What's L? Wait. What's L? Blue or yellow? Blue. 12.7 cos 21. What's W?
Sine.
The yellow, which is?
Sine.
12.7 sine 21. What's the area of the rectangle? Now you go to your calculator. How do you punch that in? If you have a forward calc, you can punch in exactly what you see, can't you? If you got a backwards calculator, what do you got to do? Just reverse it. You still got to use brackets.
When did we for the hourly 12.7 L?
What?
For the cos one, wouldn't it be 12.7 over L?
No. 12.7 is on the bottom. So you have to multiply both sides by 12.7 to cancel them out. L is now alone. 12.7 cos 21 is L. Who has an answer for me? Zach. 53.96, which is really what? 54. Anybody got something different? No. Everybody cool? All right. Now, again, I cannot stress this enough. This is very helpful for two reasons. One, it proves to me that you actually know what you're doing. even if you can't use your calculator. Because let's be honest, if you have a backwards calculator, it can get confusing, can't it? Right? Those of you that are using a backwards calculator. So this allows me to give you good marks. If you don't know how to use your calculator and you give me an answer that makes no sense at all, can I give you full marks?
No.
No, because that proves you don't really understand what's going on, yes? But can I give you 1.5 out of 2?
Yeah.
Okay. The second reason this is important is some of you, and I stress some, so if you're not planning this in your life, don't immediately say, well, that's not going to be me, because I've already said some. Some of you are planning to take pre-calculus 11, pre-calculus 12, and you're planning to go on to university. If you are planning to do that, this is what the math in university will look like. You will not bother finding this. You will leave it here. So, doesn't it behoove you to practice it as much as possible before you get there? Yes. Everybody cool? All right.
So at that point, they don't care what the answer is, as long as the equation's right?
Yep. Because at that point, you think this equation is a university level question? That is the first step of 50 to get to there. You're going to keep going.
First step of 50?
Yes. Yes.
That's great.
Yes. Yes. You know in the Big Bang Theory where they show the whiteboards in the apartment that are full of equations? That's one question. And yet everybody bitches me out for giving you hard work. I believe in having you slightly prepared to leave this place. Apparently nobody else does.
Why do they make you do so much?
Because the real world is complicated, Ariana. I hate to tell you this, but the real world is not wake up, pee, shower, eat breakfast. It's not like that.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I'm panicking.
Okay.
And I'm in grade 10.
Here we go. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you. There's a difference. Okay. Where is MN?
M is at the right angle triangle. And the angle is 90 degrees.
It's right there, right? Now, I can give that a letter, can't I? If I was labeling this properly, what letter should I write where it's yellow?
Little k.
Little k? Little L.
Oh. Never mind. Don't.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. It is also across from K,
Yeah,
but that's a different triangle.
Yeah.
So there's little L. Since I want little L, I need how many pieces of information from little L's triangle?
You just need the angle.
I need 2 pieces of information, don't I? Either 2 sides or an angle and a side. What do I have?
Only an angle.
I have an angle.
So you should do the
If
left.
I could find one side, other side, would I be in business?
Yes.
Can I find this blue side in any way?
No.
No, of course not, because it's not attached to anything else. Can I find the green side?
Yes.
Of course I can, because it's attached to this green triangle, yes?
Yes.
What letter should I give that green side?
Little k.
Little k. Now, can I solve it?
Yes.
Are you allowed to touch your calculator?
No.
Not till the end. What am I doing in the green side? Do I have a theta?
Yes.
What is it?
33.
33. What else do I have on the green triangle?
You have a adjacent.
I need an adjacent of what? What's the adjacent that I need?
Little k.
Little k.
And then.
And I have an hypotenuse of what?
8.2.
8.2. What uses A and H? Cos. Cos 33 equals A, K over H, 8.2. I have the H, so what am I doing?
You do.
What do you do every time you have the hypotenuse?
Divide.
Multiply. 8.2 cos 33 equals K, correct? Now, don't touch your calculator. Come over to the other side. Do I have a theta in the yellow triangle? What is it? 49. What else do I have? I have a hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is what? It's little k, isn't it?
Yeah.
But little k is what?
The
8.2 cos 33, correct? What else do what do I need? I need little l, which is what? Opposite, because it's across from theta, is little l. What uses O and H? Sine. Sine 49 equals opposite L over what? 8.2 cos 33. Do I have the hypotenuse? So is it multiply or divide? Multiply. So it is 8.2 cos 33 times what? Sine 49 equals L. Now, go to your calculator. Punch that in. Tell me an answer when you have it. Round it off to 1 decimal place. Zach, you gave me the last one. Give somebody else a chance. Don't tell Dan what it is. Let Dan find it.
Tell him to,
Oh, okay.
Tell him to go.
Okay. Dan, what is it?
6.9,
Okay, that's for this part.
Oh, no.
And then I need you would multiply that by sine 49.
I was just sine 49. What about the times?
Gervier. 5.2.
Oh, no, man.
Nice work. And Dan, half of nice work. So, work. Or nigh work. If you'd had a little more time, you would have done 8.2 cos 33
You got the ice.
and gotten the 6 point whatever, and then you would have gotten the s part.
Nice.
You had the nigh part. Go for the s. Because, Dan, if you got it, you would have been on fire. See what I did there? I know, right?
Picnic table.
My daughter was very funny. I was telling her, I can't remember if it was this class, but some class asked, Mr. Myers, why do you always bang the table after you laugh?
That was this class.
It was this class?
Yeah.
My daughter, I was telling that story at dinner. I said to my daughter, I tell the family, yeah, I was telling one of my great dad jokes. My kids go, oh, really? I say, and the kids say, why you slap the table when you laugh? My daughter says, why aren't they slapping the table when you tell the joke, Dad? Oh, you're my little girl. Okay, I've asked you to do something that is a little alien to you today, right?
Yeah.
It's a little weird. And some of you that were getting comfortable with trig are now a little more uncomfortable with trig. But after doing it 3 or 4 times, what's happening? You're coming back, right? Now,
He's sort of becoming blank.
I stress this. The more steps there are, the more useful it is to do this, in my opinion. So let's look at this next one.
2 trees are 55 yards apart.
Ooh, it's story time with Ariana. Can finish.
From a point halfway between the trees, the angles of elevation of the tops of the trees are measured. What is the height of each tree in the nearest yard?
Well done. So,
All right.
I have 2 triangles, yes?
Yeah.
Which means I have how many thetas?
2.
2. I'm going to use different colors like I always do. I got me a red theta. I got me a blue theta. Go.
50 yards apart. Okay.
Where is the complexity here? Where is the mistake you are going to make? I have already heard people making it. Gervier. The base is how long? Divided by 2. It's 27 and a half, isn't it? How many people wrote 55? Don't feel bad if you did. That's why I wrote the question this way, and that's why I drew the question this way. And that's why this is in the practice part.
I can't wait for a test. I like tests, even though opposite is x. Can we put x?
You can put X, you can put Y, you can put Q, you can put lightning bolt, you can put peace sign, you can put happy face, you can put anything you want, as long as you don't put a number until you do the work. And again, without my calculator,
That's 10.
why was I able to go all the way down the red side, but I could skip right to the end on the blue side? I already have everything I know. The only thing that changes was theta, right? So once I get to there, I don't need to do it again, because the only thing that's changed is theta. Cool in the gang? Yeah.
So, wait, what was it that you didn't need to do?
Well, I did this
Yeah.
step here,
So you didn't
but
have
you
to-
notice I didn't do it over here
Yeah,
because the
okay.
only thing that changed was the theta.
Yeah.
Now you use your calculator.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's like Christmas.
Yay!
Weird.
Don't sneak down and use your calculator earlier. I'll take it away.
So what? Back in the
I used to teach a student, and this kid is dead now, so he got caught in a machine at the shop he worked in.
Oh, Mr. Melissa. Okay, yeah.
Anyways, I used to teach this kid. He played rugby. He was a great kid. I really liked him. He was a good kid. But when he was in the 8th grade, he woke up at 4 in the morning and went downstairs and opened every single Christmas present before his parents woke up.
Even the ones that weren't his?
Every single present.
Why?
Now, he came back to school and said, "Hey, guess what I did, Mr. Myers?" And I said, "If you had done that in my house, everybody would have gotten your presents, and yours would have gone straight to the Salvation Army to be donated to some kid that deserves them." And he was like, "You wouldn't." Damn right I would have. And then I told the story to my kids, and my kids are like, "We would have gotten off easy if all you did was take away all the toys." So yeah, Christmas. That's why I thought of that. So, where I'm going with it, don't go to your calculator earlier, or I'll take it away.
And you like opening presents. I don't know.
The true joy of Christmas is the joy of giving. How do I get my joy of giving if you run downstairs and open the presents before I can watch you open them?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's so annoying. On my
Donish, you're not going to leave that bag of rotten food here, are you?
Did he get in trouble?
And on my
No, he was an only child. So I don't know if he got in trouble. I didn't talk to his parents about it. Because probably, Joseph, he didn't get in trouble. And I liked his parents, so I didn't want to lose respect for them.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, we didn't get the answers.
Sure you did. It's 27.5 times tan 34.
Do you want the answer? You told us to go to the...
Huh?
18.5 and 15.2.
Okay, which one's taller?
Taller is the left one.
It's the red one.
The better angle, bigger.
Yes, because the angle... You gave it away, Zach. I was going to say, how do you automatically know the red tree's taller? Because it's got a bigger angle. Get out of my head, Zach.
No.
All right.
Nice, because he gets all the answers.
This question causes much consternation
Don't do it.
because a great many of you cannot read that.
Find the angle of GH and G.
Great.
J,
How do you
J,
find
J,
the angle GHJ? Where is it?
It,
Take my pen, which is red now, and tell me where to go to show me GHJ. Who's going to volunteer?
G is...
Holly. I go up to H. Then where? Down to J. So what's the angle?
H.
All the way across.
Oh.
It is not just here.
And here.
It is not just there. It is both. You have to envision this triangle as if
There was no line in it.
that middle line was not there.
Okay.
But you can't do this without that middle line. Right? So, since you need that middle line, but this is ugly, what would be a real useful thing for you to do to make this easier to solve? Gervir, you are killing it today. You could use the 90-degree angle, absolutely, and how would that help you? It would help you with the sine, and the 9 would help you right there. But I care about this big angle here, right? So does the 9 help me with that? I like the way you're thinking. Austin, you want to fine-tune this a little maybe? You could find that angle.
And add them? No.
That would be okay if you were in grade 11. Because if you were in grade 11, you could do trig on this triangle. Because there's no 90 in there.
But there's no number.
But you're in grade 10, so you can't do trig on that red triangle.
Because there's no 90-degree angle.
There's no 90 in that big triangle.
So
Damn right you want to use some Pythagoras, because don't you have this triangle, which is 6, 9,
you just need
and
the
don't
line.
you have this triangle, which is 6, I don't know, and I need that theta, don't I?
Wait, what? What?
But I know something about this blue triangle, don't I? What do I know?
It's the first triangle plus x.
That this part of it is what? 4. So if I could find this part, can I then do trig? Because I'll have two sides, won't I? So how do I find this part?
9 squared minus 6 squared.
Square root 9 squared minus 6 squared, which is square root of 81 minus 36, which is the square root of what?
Well, 80.
45. Now, stop. How many of you are jumping to your calculator to square root 45? All of you put your hand up. Every
it's
single one of
9.
you. Even though I have been telling you not to today, you're still like a little kid on Christmas. You're all twitchy. You're addicted to your calculators. You're like calculator junkies.
No, it's not. It's 9.
No, it's not.
It's 5.
No, it's not.
It's not an even number because it's 7.
Now, if you go to your calculator and punch that in, you're going to get 6.7 blah, 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 blah. Yes? What is wrong with that? What are you going to do as soon as you see 6.7 blah, 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 blah? You're going to round it to 6.7, aren't you? Right? Ariana, we'll fix this in a minute, okay? You're totally wrong. I'll sort you out in a sec, okay? Okay, a square root has to be two numbers that are the same. 9 and 5 are not the same. They are factors of 45. They are not the square root. 6.7, blah, 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 blah. All of you would round it to 6.7, yes?
Yeah.
Which means, what would you say is this whole side?
You have to add the 4.
You would say it was 10.7, because you would add the 6.7 and the 4, yes?
Yeah.
But what is it really? Yes, it is the square root of 45
plus 4.
plus 4. Really? Does everybody understand?
Which is 10.7.
No, it's 10.7 blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Does everybody understand? Now, looking at this blue triangle, I need a theta, so it must be shift, yes? It's tan. So, it is shift tan of opposite. What's opposite?
Whatever.
Root 45 plus 4 over what's adjacent? 6. Now, can you punch that into your calculator? Yes, using what? What do you need to do to that numerator to punch into your calculator properly? Brackets. And that will give you the best possible answer. And what is it?
Well, the solving the fraction part is 1.8, and then shift 10 would be shift 10 1.8. And that's 60.9.
Now, look, please. There is a few ways you can do this. If you are very good, your whole calculation can be done at once, right? Watch, shift, tan. There's my shift tan, right? It's opened a bracket. But inside that bracket, I had these brackets, yes? So on my calculator, I must open another set of brackets. Square root 45, right?
Yeah.
Plus 4.
Bracket.
Close the bracket.
Divide.
Divide by 6. Then what?
Then add
Close the big bracket. Everybody cool? Now let's pretend that you can't do it all in one step. So then what you do is this. You just do this part. Square root 45, right?
Yeah. Plus 4.
Plus 4.
Bracket divided by 6.
Now if I didn't use the brackets, there's the square root of 45 plus 4 equals. Divided by 6 equals.
1.8.
1.78, blah, 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 blah. Shift, tan, and then I'm going to use my answer key. Because that was the last answer I got. 60.73730. Now look up. 60.73073, right? I got the same answer. Why am I able to do this all in one step? And you guys sometimes have to break it down. Is it because I have a different calculator? No. Is it because I'm more intelligent than you? No. What does it boil down to? Starts with a P, ends with an E, has rack tick in the middle of it. Practice, practice, practice. Gurveer first, then you. I'm sorry, what? In one step. You have the same calculator as me, don't you? Oh, no, you have a slightly different one. It'll still work for you. It's the same thing. So, yeah. I'll come and show you why. I'll show you why right now on this calculator, if it will ever clear.
Why does it remember your past equations?
Because it does. It's a very high-end calculator. Okay, so Gurveer, it's shift tan, yes? Does your calculator put a bracket? It does? Austin says it does. Does it put a bracket? You have to put the first bracket. Okay, so that's this bracket right here. This is bracket the first one. Okay? Now inside there, I have to bracket this again, right? So on my calculator, I start a bracket, and then I need to do this divided by 6, right? So I need to open a second set of brackets. So you do that. Then do however you do square root of 45. Mine's a forward calculator, so I just have to type 45, right? Then I have to do this. I have to use this arrow key to get out from under the root. Plus 4. Now, that's this part, yes? So now I close my bracket. Cool? Now that root 45 plus 4 has to be divided by 6, correct? Then I close my other bracket, because that's the thing I'm shift tanning. Then I hit equals. Okay? Just practice, right? You hit the same buttons the first time, but you got 14. Now, does that make any kind of sense? For this, when this is 10 and this is 6, can that be 14? It can't be a small angle because this is way bigger than 6, right? So you wouldn't hand in 14. But if you showed me this, could I still give you almost full marks? Yes. Does everybody understand?
Yeah.
Okay, Ariana, it was your turn. You were next in line.
Do you care if the decimal part is wrong? Because you got 60.7. I got
Yes, because you did
60.9.
1.8. You didn't do it all in one shot, which is fine. All right, now, your homework. All you have to do is question 16 to 20. But listen to me, please. Listen to me, please. There is some weird vocabulary in here. Vocabulary that is nothing to do with math. Okay? In that very first question, how many of you know what a guy wire is? Yeah, but it's not a male wire. It's not a wire with testicles. It's a guy wire. Do you know what that is? No, so it makes it hard to do this question, yes? But think about out on the street where you see a telephone pole, right? What is attached to that telephone pole? There's a wire that comes down to the ground, yes? That is a guy wire.
Okay.
And what did it make?
A triangle.
So how do they know where to put those guy wires? They do grade 10 trig. And they get paid a crap ton of money to do it. You know those other people that you see working on the road and they're looking through this square thing and looking to another guy way over here that's holding up a pole? Guess what they're doing? Grade 10 trig. And they're being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to do it. And it's grade 10 trig. How many of you like to look through things like telescopes? Yeah, you all do. How many of you can do grade 10 trig? All of you. How many of you would like to earn a very good living doing something fun like looking through telescopes and playing with lasers and then doing this easy math? Yeah. I sure would. Be a hell of a lot easier than trying to teach this math to you. And yet here I am. All right. So we all know what a guy wire is, yes? Okay, that's explained. Turn the page over. In a sec, Revere. Read the question.
Peeping Tom.
No, not now. The question explains what it's going to look like. There's no vocab there. It's just a little bit weird. Okay? Because I named him Tom, and then I realized he was looking at girls in the building across the street. The original question said Tom. Then I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it that they would name the guy in the question Tom. It's true story. I took this right off an old exam. And I was like, he's looking at women in the building across the street. And his name is Tom. Of course he's a peeping Tom. So I named him Peeping Tom. Next question, or next vocab thing. Isosceles Triangle. That means stuff. You know that from grade 7. What does it mean? It means the two sides are the same. And what does it mean about those angles? They're the same. Number 19 has no vocabulary, but it's very similar to 17. And number 20 has no vocabulary. Okay? 4 questions. And I'm giving you 15 minutes now and all weekend. All right? You are going to have a trigonometry. I have named this one a Kreplach. On Tuesday.
It's a test?
No.
It's a quiz. It's assignment.
Sopetoa Kreplach.
Oh, does that spell out sine, cos, and tan?
Yeah. Wait, did you just?
I don't even know if she's joking.
I don't think she is.
I think she's just seeing for the first time Sopetoa.
Wait, is she realizing Sopetoa?
I think so.
Actually, it was written down. Who knows? He's pulling out his hair because of you.
Why am I bald? If only you had a whole page
You're welcome.
Notes on this
dedicated.
Please leave no.
right there. Do you remember?
We didn't talk about the word.
Do you
itself
understand?
together.
I told you how in grade 10 I said it with a Japanese accent, and my grade 10 teacher got mad at me, and my grade 10 teacher was super handsome, and my girlfriend was in love with him. Much like your grade 10 teacher is super handsome.
Yeah.